depending on the time of the year, of our products abroad. We've found with a declining dollar, in the past 5 years, as the dollar declined, we found that a lot of things, a lot of our U.S. products sold well. But then over the last year, as the worldwide economy really changed, a lot of industries around the world closed their doors to U.S. products. So it becomes very difficult for us to send products out of our country because a lot of the countries around the world are now also looking, just as we saw in the earlier slides, they're looking and saying, how do we protect our own country, let alone bring in stuff from other countries? And unfortunately, in this country, we've exported so many jobs. Now those countries are looking, saying, hold it, we have to take a look at our own country, and we don't need U.S. coming in and bringing their products in, nor do we want to have U.S. dollars to buy our products. Because as the slide earlier showed, how the dollar has continued to decline. Let me give you a personal example. My daughter lives in Indonesia. I went to visit her last February. The dollar decline from last February to today is about 25%. So imagine, and for them as missionaries, their wages are based on U.S. dollars. So over the past year, they had a 25% pay cut without anything changing. Now, the same thing goes for U.S. products and everything. The dollar, most Americans are totally ignorant to how the world economy works. The other thing that happens in the world economy, and where we really got smacked in our company this year, April 24th, 2009. Does anybody know what happened on April 24th, 2009?
They changed the accounting rules?
No. April 24th, 2009.
When they started pulling all the money in international banks and there was a flow, somebody would make a stop?
No, this one actually happened just to our industry.
Financial crisis began.
It was called H1N1, also known as swine flu. When you process 50,000 hogs per week and you're selling them around the world, overnight, pork products around the world lost about 35% of value in one day. And so it made a major change. But what had happened, it allowed a lot of countries around the world who were buying in U.S. products, it allowed them the freedom to close their doors, even though it has nothing to do with pigs or pig products. But it allowed them to close their doors. So economically, it was a huge hit for the entire industry. One of my friends who runs the largest pork company in the world, Smithfield, for the past 12 months, they had losses in their company alone of over $1 billion loss. So that's, even though you can be a $15 billion company, to take a $1 billion loss, it's a huge hit. So the world economy does impact even our business. Another question, yes?
With that being said, how do you change the mindset of consumers to say, okay, well, H1N1 doesn't really have anything to do with pork products, it's a misconception, that sort of thing. So how do you go from losing 35% one day to rebuilding that to where you may be today or where you were?
It's almost impossible to rebuild it. And I would tell you this, facts don't matter, because once the American consumer has the facts built into their mind, it doesn't matter. And here's where I want to take you back to what I talked about, contentment and comfortable. American public wants to be very comfortable. They don't want to be content. Comfort comes from things on the outside I have no control over. If we had looked at our business and say, we just lost everything, for a privately held business, let's just throw our hands up in the air, let's just sell it, it's time to get out of here. No, but we're content. We understand that it's going to put a major hit on our business. And we took some major steps within our business to know what was going to happen. And we're just going to slowly grow our way out of it. And after a period of time, it got replaced off the news. American consumers went back to normal eating habits, even though the economy has changed where people eat today. So it's one, Americans had their minds made up and you couldn't change it. So don't change it, just continue what you're doing. and allow the truth to rule over a period of time. But it's tough. All the way in the back there.
Yes, with the increase of organic nature, ethical treatment of the animals and stuff, do you think this is a fad in the American society, or you think that's something your company would have to go towards, to say market like a organic pork product, or purchase a company, such as the big ones have done with, Soy Field, I think was the name of this company, Kraft, Colgate, Palmolive, to purchase some organic products?
There's two different questions there. The first question is treatment of animals. And the treatment of animals is something that we take very, very seriously. In fact, there's terminology, and here's where terminology gets switched around very easily. There's animal rights groups and there are animal welfare groups. Most of the groups that most people are familiar with in the United States are animal rights groups, not animal welfare groups. In fact, most people that think that the groups that care about animals from a welfare position really have very little care about animal welfare. For instance, if I would use the largest one is the Humane Society of the United States. They have an annual budget of about $160 million. They spend less than $5 million on animal welfare issues. All the rest is a political agenda. In fact, their political agenda is that animals have the same rights as humans. So, for instance, if you would take a look at some of their mindsets, and now this gets very scary because most people have never heard this side of it. For instance, if you have a rat in your home, they would say that rat has as much right to live in your home as you do. And you have no way that you should be able to poison that rat. In fact, if you poison it, you should be able to go to prison. That rat has as much right as you do. That's what animal rights are. So that's one side of it. The other side is organic. The organic industry has grown some, and yet in the meat industry, the sales are between 3 and 4% of all products sold. The cost is much higher to produce it. And in fact, from a food safety standpoint, most organic products, the reason we went to the way we produce most of our products was for food safety reasons. Organically frozen products, most consumers do not know how to take care of those products, and as a result, food safety actually becomes a greater issue. So the organics will continue to grow, but the chance for disease goes up much higher. All of our product could probably actually be qualified for that. We don't believe that's a market today to chase. Everyone who is known to be pursuing that market today is losing a boatload of money. And so we look and say, okay, in the end, is that the right thing to do, or is that just a popular thing? And to us, it's popular right now. It's probably not the right thing to do. Another question, was another hand over here somewhere. Yes?
What are the challenges working with family?
What are the challenges working with family? The key to working with family is for people to know what hat they're wearing. We have 21 family members working in our business. However, they aren't considered family members. They aren't considered shareholders. We hire employees. We don't hire family. So when people start to learn what hat they're wearing, it makes the job very much easier. Family businesses, oftentimes people feel entitled. They feel that they can do whatever they want. There's no accountability. You need to build accountability. You need to have people learn what hat they're wearing and learn to do the right thing. Family business can be great. It can be the worst place to work.
One more question.
One more question.
What is your corporate strategy, and do you look at ever diversifying in a way that you're not totally dependent on the pork industry? Is that anything you look at or you're already involved in?
We are a very diversified company. We have actually, our main group is called Clemens Food Group, which has our food companies. Clemens Development is our real estate company. We actually have real estate companies that are building shopping centers, malls, housing developments, which bring income back into the company. The food company grows our stock. So we are a diversified company. We are a very diversified routine, mainly because for us, you know, they say you don't want to have all your eggs in one basket. I say we don't want to have all of our hams in one basket. So we continue to spread it out because diversification is very, very critical for us for the future of our total family business. Okay? Thank you, Rita.